There you go.
All right. This will hang out a little bit, see if anyone shows up, seeing as this was an unplanned thing that we did.
Since you texted me 4 hours ago while I was driving home.
To be fair, I got this like the day I was leaving and no podcast to do, so I was really excited to come home and use it.
It's fair. I get it.
How are you, by the way?
I'm fine. It's been a long day.
How long have you been back?
I got back at like 7 something, so like 3 hours.
Same. But 7 my time.
No, see, 7 in the future.
Now, what time did you leave?
Around like 11, but I did also stop for food and then a little like Amish village type place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that added on like another like 45 minutes, hour. But, you know.
To answer your question, Will, I got really excited to come home and use this beautiful thing here, and also find out about Katie's weekend. And I want to talk about my weekend, and I want to waste a whole episode on Saturday doing it. I want to tell everyone how much fun I had putting your meat in my mouth. So thought see, you forgot about that. That's the thing.
Yeah, I did.
It was delicious, by the way.
You're terrible.
We're going to talk about it. So we thought we'd do a little impromptu show. And since you're here, and at least it was good meat. It was really good meat. We'll run an intro for shits and giggles just because it's just like a live. But
for shits and gigs, okay.
Yeah, why the fuck not? We're here.
We're here.
No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your number one wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet, the Smackin' Raw podcast. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I am here for a special bonus Tuesday night episode with my co-host, host of the She League Showcase, Inside the Mind of In the Crowd, Getting Off, and Story Time with Miss Katie Kinsey, baby.
Back.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Alice is like, excuse me, it's Tuesday. Will's like, what the fuck is happening? Mania happened, right? And Matt didn't get to podcast Friday. He didn't get to podcast Saturday. He wouldn't have podcasted this Sunday anyway, but he didn't get to. I got to go see some really cool people down in Tennessee, and I want to talk about it. Katie did everything you could possibly fucking do at Mania. She got Mania gangbanged by shows like Wale Mania, SmackDown, Mania, Stand and Deliver, Mania again, Raw. She just did all the things. And you guys want to fucking hear about it, right? You guys want to hear what we did, how our experience was? Well, Allison, you already, I mean, it's your bedtime, but you were there. You're part of my experience. You're one of the many things I experienced this weekend. But I figured everyone else wanted to hear about our weekend. So, Katie, how was your weekend? Because yours started a little earlier than mine.
Yeah, so I actually left my home, Pittsburgh. I left literally the day after Easter, Monday morning, drove 4.5, 5 hours to my friend's house, who I haven't seen in person in 8 years. So I got to hang out with her, and that was so fun. So I was there for 2 days, and then I drove another like 40 minutes to my Airbnb. which was a fucking disaster. And then I got home 3 hours ago.
All right. So I had a 7-hour drive both ways, or at least it was supposed to be. I had Thursday off to pack and get everything ready because I got a fucking 3-year-old and my wife. So we left at 9 a.m. on Friday.
Okay.
We got to Tennessee, which is in the same time zone, even though like we cross into the Eastern time zone and then back the fuck out of it. At 6:30 p.m. In Tennessee that night. And then we go to today. We leave again at 9 o'clock. Didn't get home till just about 7 p.m. So if you do the math, that 7-hour car ride both times took about 8 or 9 hours. Because, again, I got a 3-year-old. She's got to stop every couple hours to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we stop for food. Like one of the things Kate and I love to do is stop at fast food places that we don't get to try that aren't out here in Illinois.
Yeah.
So we stopped at Big Boy in Louisville on our way down.
Okay.
And then I got Bojangles for the first time while I was in Tennessee. So tried out some Bojangles while we were out there. Did not go to Buc-ee's. Did not see a Buc-ee's on the way down. We did drive like all through fucking Indiana. Indiana was the longest part of our drive.
Nice. All the things to do in Indiana, yeah.
White people do time travel. You are correct, Taekwon. I did it twice in 5 days.
You time traveled. I did
twice.
not.
Yeah. So, you said you left Monday, went and visited a friend. How'd that go? What'd you guys do?
So it was legitimately pouring both days I was with her, so that kind of fucking sucked. But no, we're not doing that. So there wasn't a whole lot we could do, but we went to the it's like the biggest mall out there, the King of Prussia Mall. Listen, this mall has no right to be that big. There was a whole section of just like bougie shit, like Prada and Gucci and all this shit. I was like, I should not be on the side of the mall. I don't think I'm allowed in here. So that was interesting. A lot of walking around. Looked at some like cute little bookstores, stuff like that. I got a few books for my friend. She's collecting like old school Goosebumps books. So I found a few cheap. So I grabbed them for her. Yeah, so that's all I really got to do like with her. And then we kind of just like we watched Harry Potter and just vibed. Nothing too crazy.
When did you leave her house and head down for Mania?
Wednesday, like afternoonish. Still kind of raining, but not as bad. And then got to my Airbnb on Wednesday, and I'm just sticking to hotels from now on because this was fucking stupid.
Tell us about it.
On Easter, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Easter, I could call from a number I don't know. If a number calls me, I don't know. I don't answer. If it's important, leave me a fucking voicemail. I don't answer numbers I don't know. Unless I'm expecting a call, like a doctor or something like that. That'll answer. So I call on Easter, and it's... So the guy who owns the Airbnb, it was like someone who works for him. I guess she was super sweet, very cool, but told me that HOA restrictions basically said they can't have an Airbnb anymore, but I could still stay there. So I had to get refunded all my money from Airbnb and then repay this guy with all of the money that I had in my savings, $100 less of what I paid for the Airbnb. So that all happened on Wednesday when I got there. So then
Did you get your money back?
I got my money back from Airbnb on Thursday.
Okay.
Not super long at all. Originally, it was like up to 15 days. And I was like, if it takes up to 15 days, I'm going to throw myself off a bridge because I was a little low on money at that point because I was expecting to have the backup money just in case.
In your savings, yeah.
As one does, yeah. So that was a terrifying experience. I had a nice long panic attack in the Airbnb by myself. It was terrible. The people above me were... So I guess he like rents the apartment. It was like a condo, like the apartment above. And the floors were loud. I could hear them, just like a bunch of shit. It was not... I was barely there, and I'm happy I was barely there because that shit was annoying. So I'm sticking in hotels where I know it's just a person next to me that I can maybe hear a little bit. Because fuck all that. Fuck all of that.
Okay. So you're at the Airbnb on Thursday.
Yeah. So Thursday was, I kind of just like sat there and like decompressed before driving down to Wrestlemania, which was a shit show and a half. You want to know the tea about Wrestlemania?
I do. That's why the fuck we're here.
So, as you know, my girl Haley, I ended up meeting up with her. I did get to meet Queen PR and Krista B in person. There was no photo evidence of me meeting like anybody, by the way, because
Sad about
I
that.
suck. I know. It was just a lot happening, and I don't know. I didn't take pictures with anybody, which happens. But get down there. I'm kind of just like chilling in the front because I was like, I know Haley's here because I saw her in line, so I'm just gonna like wait for her. And I got to meet up with Adam in person and met Sir Wilkins, who I don't think remembered who the fuck I was, but like that's okay. That's fine.
Did you say, hey, Smackin' a Raw podcast, that sexy guy Matt? I was there too.
I did not. No,
you should have.
It was brief. It was a brief interaction with Wilkins. I know, but it happens. But so like Wilkins, Adam, Haley, Malcolm, a bunch of people were there for media because they were told like there'd be like a red carpet kind of thing like 2 days before Wrestlemania happened. They all get there with all of their equipment and shit, and there's nothing for them to do. They all were going for a job, basically. There was no media for them. So it was kind of pointless. And like Haley and I ended up leaving like an hour and a half in because she was exhausted. The person she was staying with ended up backstage somehow. So I was like, I'll drive you back to your Airbnb. Like, oh
Do
yeah,
we have any backstage stories?
No, because I don't like the person she was staying with after learning about a lot of that. I learned a lot of things about people this weekend. So
we'll talk off air.
Well, that'll be an off air thing. Yeah, so me and Haley ended up dipping at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I missed Shelton Benjamin, Cedric. I missed a lot of people, but like I was exhausted. She was exhausted. She was doing media all day. She just wanted to go back to her Airbnb and had no ride. I was like, I'll take you. Fuck it. Whatever. I don't care. They had to move guardrails so I can get my car out because they decided to have people park behind the row of cars I was in because that makes any fucking sense. So that was a whole shit show. We go back to her Airbnb, which nice as fuck, by the way. It was like an apartment complex, super cute. And so she had the junket Friday morning. So I was like helping her brainstorm questions in case she got to certain people. We bullshit for like an hour. I was helping her with questions. The tweet that I sent out, I don't remember what day I did it. Maybe Monday, maybe yesterday. I was talking about Rey Mysterio's knees because I want him to pop out of the floor. That came from that conversation I had with Haley Thursday night. Because she was like, I really want to meet like Ray and interview him. I was like, if you interview him, ask him if we can get that floor entrance again because I want to see him pop out the floor. And then he just had knee surgery. Can his knees even handle it? All of that kind of shit. So that was Thursday.
He's not Tanika Knox. He'll be all right.
Fucking dare you. Don't disrespect her. I almost met her. I was this close. So close.
Okay.
That was Thursday. That was Wrestlemania Day.
JJ, while you're here, if you're still here, do we know what happened that Marks with Mike's got arrested?
Yeah, like
because I heard they got arrested and I heard they got out a few hours later, but I didn't get the story as to why they got arrested.
Justin has to know.
So I'll tell you this. The only downside to my weekend was the Wi-Fi in the cabin. So needed Wi-Fi to stream anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the cabin that I was in had an extension, like a Linksys extension. So it wasn't the main router, it was the extension router.
Gotcha.
So the main router was at the next cabin over, and whatever Wi-Fi was filtering over is what we got, and then had to go into the cabin. So I ended up night one using my hotspot, and mind you, my cell service was only 1 bar of 4G to get us through night one of WrestleMania. Got me also through Stand and Deliver and some other shit. Night two, Allison used her hotspot and got us through night two of WrestleMania, but also only had 1 bar of service. So that was it. Then we do this whole thing where like there's a guest book and we're like, listen, it was a beautiful cabin. It was a lovely stay. We had a great time. The only issue we had was the Wi-Fi. She texts me after leaving. She goes, oh, I saw your comment about the Wi-Fi. So they put fiber optic Wi-Fi cables in the road last week, and they're actually getting installed today, the day that you're leaving. And I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any fucking good. It wasn't there this weekend, but I guess if I come back, cool. So that was my only downfall.
Okay.
My Friday. So we got in Friday, like I said, just before SmackDown, got settled and everything. I tried to get the Xfinity app on the TV there, which apparently you can't do. It has to be on your home Wi-Fi network. So I ended up using it on my phone. Like, you can use it for mobile versions, but you can't use it on like a TV, I guess. They don't want you. I don't know. So I ended up watching SmackDown on my phone while Kate got, relaxed and decompressed and shit. We had put Zoe to bed. She was already falling asleep by the time we got there. And then after that, after Kate went to bed, I stayed up and watched Night Swim on Peacock, which had dropped on the 5th.
Okay.
So I checked out Night Swim.
And?
I'm not mad I didn't go see it in theaters, but like,
fair.
So I don't drink, and there was just like random shit in the fridge. So I was like, I'm gonna have a twisted tea and sit down and watch because it was in there, right? And I was like, fuck it, it's my birthday. Let's go wild, have a twisted tea.
Fuck it, it's my birthday. Let me drink.
Yeah, exactly. So I popped open a twisted tea, sat there, watched Night Swim. The loading didn't help again because of the Wi-Fi, which is at some point I'm like, fuck this, I'm just using my hotspot. So did that. Completely forgot the Hall of Fame was a thing because I was using my phone as a hotspot. So like watched the Hall of Fame the next day. But that Friday was not, it was mostly driving. Like I said, we stopped at Big Boy, did that shit.
Yeah.
The drive down is always more fun than the drive home. Like the drive home, you're exhausted and it's a pain in the ass and you just want to get home. Drive down there, you're like, oh, look at that. That's cool. This is pretty. Oh, look, we're in Louisville. There's a Louisville Slugger Stadium, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're having a great time. Right on the way back, you saw that shit. And it's like, fuck this. I just want to get home. But you were at SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. So.
I was. I had some nosebleed type seats for SmackDown Hall of Fame. Bless you. I think you sneezed 3 times.
I did.
You always sneeze in 3s.
Real quick, JJ. So Kate used her hotspot on her laptop to keep Zoe entertained so she could watch shit. So that, and we brought a shit ton of toys for her to play with since we had the cabin. So yes, we're both back, Tommy. So anyway, Hall of Fame, SmackDown, nosebleeds.
Yeah, I got beef with Wells Fargo seats in the 200s because why the fuck y'all got cup holders attached to the seats on both sides that I can't move? That's stupid. That shit pissed me off. That happened SmackDown / Hall of Fame and Monday. Monday was way worse. I'll get to Monday later. But SmackDown was cool. Seeing the like the new, nothing. I looked at new and saw that. Like that type of entrance was cool. Like the lower thing. I'm used to just like the ramp, so like that was kind of cool. Hall of Fame itself, I think they should have ended with Paul Heyman. That's just me. But Paul's speech had me livid. This man's was going crazy. dropping Fs. I was losing my mind. And like I don't fuck with Philadelphia. Y'all know this. I'm a Pittsburgh girl through and through. I was chanting EC dub with my whole heart and soul that entire fucking thing. Because you have to, you know?
So I've been talking to Heels for Life all weekend, back and forth through TikTok and stuff. And Chris and Enforcer both went to the ECW arena while they were out there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't do it. I don't have fucking time. I was busy.
But
Busy girl.
Listen, Paul Heyman called himself CM Punk's best friend. And like I sat there and I looked at my wife because Kate is still not on the CM Punk train. Like Will's on it now. Like everyone's getting aboard. Kate's like, no, he's still just a whiny bitch. And I think Allison agrees with him. But I was like, listen, this man advocates for the women. He advocates for people of color and LGBTQ wrestlers. He does all of these things. Paul Heyman says he's his best friend. Most of the people that like the like 5 people in wrestling that like CM Punk seem to be decent people. Like
that
I don't know.
Slowly climbing back up.
I don't
know. People who like him. I don't know. But yeah, it just
Brock. Yeah, he went hard on the Brock Lesnar too.
But like he always does though.
Oh, he doesn't give a fuck.
But hearing that live, that's the first time I've heard him do the Brock Lesnar thing live. So like that, like even though Brock's a piece of fucking shit through and through, like that gave me chills. Like hearing Paul Heyman do that shit live, oh, good shit. Paul Heyman made me cry a little bit because like that was awesome. US Express going in had me in fucking tears because y'all really had to do a Bray shit while I'm just trying to sit there at midnight and want to go home. I'm not trying to sob right now. I did a lot. I tried to get as much as the Fireflies every chance they did it throughout the weekend. So when a vlog goes up eventually, when I have time, there's a lot of just like Fireflies. They did it a lot this weekend, thankfully. A lot of people left after Paul's speech, which was kind of fucked up.
Surprising.
Because, like, that's disrespectful. It was all hell. That's also why I think Paul should have been last, because I thought he was, like, the headliner, and typically the headliner goes last. Did not expect Taker to be there, which I was very happy about. There was no Terry. No Terry at all this weekend. Round of applause.
Yes, I agree. At WrestleMania, I had a little bit of Terry in my life because I started watching the Bray docs Sunday before the pay-per-view, and I didn't get to finish it because everyone showed up. And then I watched it today on the drive home. Like we had 3 hours left in the drive, and Kate took over after I'd been driving for like 5 hours. She's like, "I'll drive the last leg." I'm like, "All right, cool." After we got gas, so I put in headphones and I watched the Bray doc in the car ride home. Like from the beginning, everything I had saw all the way through to the end. And Terry's in that. So I had some Terry this weekend, but we didn't. We did get Taker this weekend, though, and I can't wait to fucking talk about that. Ooh.
Yeah. But no, Hall of Fame was really cool. Like, getting to experience that live, and, like, everyone looked so pretty, and, like, watching everyone come out, so cool. So cool.
Yeah, no, Bakley was sending me videos all weekend long that
he was telling me. He was like, "Look at what I just sent Matt." It was Tony D. It was a picture of Tony D. Because he had way better seats for to stand and deliver than I did.
Yeah.
I will say.
Well, first and foremost, he goes, "All right, so stand and deliver Saturday morning." So Kate goes, she's like, "Hey, so all right. We went down to visit Will and Allison from Botch Spots and Chair Shots, but also my best friend John lives down there, and his girlfriend Caroline. And John and Caroline for the last few years now, when they lived out here, would come over for every pay-per-view as long as John wasn't working because he was doing this boat thing where some weekends he was working. And we'd get together, we'd cook, we'd eat. It was like a tradition once a month. We'd get together, do the pay-per-views. We'd hang out other than that, but like it was our thing, right? Our friend Eric would come through too. I just smacked it.
You'll
So
get
we
used
went down
to
to
it.
see them. That's why we went down to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So Kate, so we found out that John's brother and his wife were also going to be down that weekend. And John told them it's Matt's birthday. I'm happy you guys are coming down, but I'm hanging out with Matt. So like we can go get lunch or something, but we're watching WrestleMania. Like this is what we're doing. So we weren't sure what their plans were because Jordan hasn't watched wrestling in I don't know how long, and I don't think Shelly ever did.
Yeah.
So we got together Friday with them and got dinner, that's another reason why we got back so late after SmackDown, and I had to watch it on my phone. I forgot we went to dinner. We went to Cheddar's and got dinner with them.
Nice.
So everybody hung out, had a good time after we got in. So I was talking to them, this and that, and they're like, yeah, so John said you guys are watching WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. And kind of made it sound like they were coming. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I checked with Will to make sure he had enough food for 2 extra people because John was fairly certain they weren't going to join us because they don't watch wrestling. So
yeah,
it was what it was. Was like, yeah, dude. He had burgers, like handmade the patties. I watched the motherfucker do it with cheddar and Gouda cheese. He had 5 pounds of pulled pork.
Jesus.
He had 5 pounds of homemade bacon. He bought the pork belly, cut the fucking strips, and smoked them himself.
What is this guy? A chef or something? Crazy.
Onion straws, and then obviously like lettuce, tomato, onions. They came with fries. He made me a double chunk chocolate brownie birthday because he hit up Kate and he was like, what kind of cake does Matt like? And she's like, he doesn't like cake. He likes brownies. So he made me brownies.
Jesus
said
Christ.
happy birthday, Matt, on them. Allison and Will got me 2 gifts. One I meant to bring down here and I didn't. It is a giant Dr. Pepper thermos because we are the DP boys, like giant. You will see it. I will grab it. I will fill it with something because I don't know that I can drink that much Dr. Pepper in a sitting, but I'll fill it with something and it'll be here. And then also a little Undertaker plush, kind of like your plushies back there. Kind of, but not quite. Yeah. Zoe immediately took that and ran away with it.
Of course. I mean, I would have too.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll talk about that when we get back to meeting everyone on Saturday with what Will about his best friend. They all went out. Sorry, that's where I was. Caroline, John's girlfriend, Shelly, John's brother's wife, and Kate went out to go get their nails done, like go get manicures and stuff during the day. And then after that, they went and did some other shit. Like they went by Johnny Cash's grave because it wasn't far from where they were at. Like they went and did stuff. It was just me and Zoe chilling, watching Stand and Deliver.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure because like I got up and I watched the Hall of Fame. Kate was getting ready and stuff. She left, and then Stand and Deliver came on. I'm like, all right, cool, Stand and Deliver. And Stand and Deliver was great, minus like it's the first show, and the one thing that I said I wanted for my birthday was Tony D to win, and Tony D didn't win, so I wasn't sure how this weekend was going to go for me. I wasn't, but I also knew Tony D probably wasn't going to win, but I had hope.
We had hope.
And I feel like if I had done cake on my birthday and blown it out and made that wish, instead of wishing for what I did wish for, which I did end up getting, Sunday after everyone left, that maybe he would have won. So I guess that's not me. But you were there at Stand and Deliver. You weren't just watching it on the couch. So how was Stand and Deliver?
No. So Stand and Deliver, way better seats than SmackDown and Raw. That's for damn sure. Listen, we'll get to Tony D in a second. I had club seats for Stand and Deliver. I was on hard cam side, I think, now that I think about it, but I was a little over, so I don't think you would have been able to see me regardless. Club seats are dope as fuck. In Wells Fargo, they have little like stands where you can just order it and put your seat in, and then they'll bring your food to you. I loved it. I'm not that ticket was the cheapest one of all. That ticket was only $65.
Oh, you
for a club seat.
Huh?
No, I am not. Listen, just because I rattled off all the shows I've been to in the past 3 years in the group chat don't mean shit.
Just because I rattled off all the shows that I've been to and I was sitting in the club seat, hand ordering food and having it delivered to me.
I only did it one time. I didn't want to miss anything.
Fair.
Yeah, but you know, Cindy Liver was dope. My first NXT show. I've been to a live. I've been to an NXT live show, but this was my first NXT shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fucking cool. Got to see Sean Spears. That's my guy. Perfect 10. He lost, so that was kind of bullshit. I was like, well, this is fucking stupid, okay? People were so happy with John Casey. I was like, I don't understand this.
It's Philadelphia.
Yeah. Matt, I got to bark in person.
I saw on Twitter. I was off of social media for most, through the shows, I was off social media.
Yeah.
Again, 4G, one bar. I didn't want to do anything on my phone to take away any bit of data that might cause the show to load and stop. So I was like, I'm just going to set this on charge by the TV and pretend like I just don't own a phone for the weekend. That's what's happening.
Sometimes that's okay, though. Sometimes that's the best. I tweeted every once in a while watching the shows and shit, but I tried just to be in the moment and get a little bit of filming here and there. But I wasn't as aggressive as that GIF is. That dog is crazy. I wasn't that crazy.
It. You were foaming at the fucking mouth.
It was. Listen, Braun Breaker's a nice looking man too, so Braun Breaker, baby. That was cool. I did see that ring fucking shift too. He's fast. It's like the Flash. It's crazy. I'm super pissed Lyra lost because I was like, why? What is this? Obviously NXT tonight explained a lot of things. Trick and Mello, seeing that live was so cool. Just for that moment, the match might not have been up to people's standards, but just the first two black performers to main event an NXT pay-per-view absolutely killed it. The people were going crazy. The whoop that trick chants were crazy loud. Biggest pops of the night, hands down. Bigger than some of the pops at WrestleMania. So that's saying something. 16,000 to 62,000 people. Whoop that trick chants were crazy loud. And they deserve that.
And we'll find out what happens. That I cannot wait for those whoop those trick chants at an actual Mania with 72,000 people in the arena doing it.
It's gonna be crazy. I hope I'm there. If they put it in Vegas, I might go. If it's fucking Minnesota, we ain't doing that shit again. Mm-mm.
Oh, fuck no. All right. Sidebar. So, I have allergies. I have seasonal allergies, right?
Yeah.
I get down to Tennessee. I am fucking fine. I am outside. I am breathing. Everything is good and beautiful, and life is happy. I still pop my allergy medicine just in case, but I wasn't feeling any symptoms. Still use my nose spray just for shits and giggles, but was good. Zoe was all fucked up, and Kate, who doesn't have seasonal allergies up here, was all fucked up. So apparently, there are different trees that grow down there that we don't get up here that Kate may or may not be allergic to. No, those trees grow up here, and she smokes them. And trust me, there was plenty of that going on this weekend between 3 people at the cabin.
Yeah. I wonder who.
The trees down there, apparently they have shit that we don't have up here that she may or may not be allergic to, and she was not accepting the fact that she might be allergic to them. The second that we got back into fucking Illinois, she could breathe again, and my nose just.
Maybe I have to move.
Well, that's the thing. She won't move because now she's all fucked up in Tennessee.
But it's okay for you to
moving down there because I'm all fucked up. Yeah, you've been suffering your whole life. Continue to suffer.
Bitch. She definitely
I'm used to it, right? That was a thing, by the way. Apparently, crazy. I can live a normal human life in Tennessee, but I married someone that's not going to allow me to do it. So
sacrifices. It's crazy.
See, she's all fucked up in Tennessee.
Couldn't be me.
So I agree. Stand and deliver. I had a good time. I mean, I don't give a fuck about Frazier and Axiom. You know, I'm not like, I like Braun Breaker. I don't give a fuck about Breaker and Corbin as a tag team.
Yeah.
I was
Fair.
disappointed that Sean Spears lost to Gacy, but
yeah, because like, what the fuck?
I love Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria, so I was good there. Like whoever won. Tatum, I saw the look on Tatum's face after she accidentally got knocked down by Lyra, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be something. This is gonna be a thing. I can't wait. I love crazy bitches.
Oh yeah.
Tony D and Ilya Dragunov was a fantastic match. Bakley said it in the chat. Listen, Tony should have used the Nux. Turned heel. Yes!
No.
You turn him heel, you have basically the bloodline, but it's the family on NXT with the Don sitting at the head of the table as the leader of a heel faction holding that belt. He's a fucking mobster. He's a gangster. Yes, you use the brass knucks.
He didn't.
Where was the crowbar? That's my question.
Actually, yeah. That's actually a really good question. Where was the crowbar? Usually that pops out for his matches, not brass knucks. That's Logan Paul's thing. So that was a little crazy.
She's talking Marks with mics. He got
that
is Airbnb.
I thought she was talking about you for a second. I was like, what happened?
I don't think I could. I mean, I guess I could get racially profiled in Tennessee, but I feel like generally
that's why I was very confused. Wow, that's actually wild. Fucking Philadelphia. But I really wanted Tony D to win too, but he wanted to do it by himself. And like, you gotta respect the man for not wanting the family to like. He was like, "I'm the leader. I can handle this." That's what a good leader does.
I mean, a good leader gets the job done by any means necessary, right? When there's a job to get done, you get it done. And they're family for a reason. You don't turn your back on family when they're there to help. You don't tell them no. Family shows up to help you move that couch. You let them help you pick up the couch. You don't throw your back out trying to move by yourself to prove something. That's what family's for.
Whatever. Well, like, hell of a fucking match. He would be champion
right now.
But right now he's in. I don't remember where Lucas said he's vacationing right now for the week. I can't remember.
He deserves a vacation. No, he did put on a hell of a match. I talked to Will about it. And Will set up until Trick and Mello. That was his favorite match of all of TakeOver, and he was going to put it like top matches of the weekend at that point. So
it was one hell of a fucking. It's a TakeOver. They don't call them takeovers anymore, but it's TakeOver.
Do you mean, can we talk about what happened to Chelsea Green on Monday? Because that'll be on Smackin' Raw.
No, she's talking about she got kind of kicked out of her hotel because they thought she was an escort based off how she was dressed.
Yeah, I did see that.
Like, damn, that's crazy.
Because of the way she was dressed, which, like, come on now. Have you people not learned yet? You do not judge a book by a cover. Just because a woman dresses a certain way does not mean she is a certain way. I don't know why we have to keep repeating these things to you people.
Because people don't listen. If they listened, we wouldn't have to keep repeating ourselves. Crazy how that works. Assholes.
I agree. Now the family does have a tag team, which is cool. And he can stay a singles guy. We also, at Stand and Deliver, got the announcement of the NXT North American Women's Championship. A female mid-card title fucking finally.
Honestly, NXT needed it because main roster, y'all gotta do better. NXT is what's killing it with the women in WWE specifically. So it being on NXT is the best thing to happen. Yeah, I popped. I teared up a little bit because I was like, this is what they deserve, especially with a group of talent in there right now. And speaking of talent, Julia was sitting ringside
with William Regal.
And that other dude from Stardom, whose name I don't remember, Rossi.
Not important. We don't talk about them.
He was there. But she looked genuinely happy that and like surprised
that people knew who she was.
Yeah, I was like, bitch, pop the fuck off. You're cool. I've seen some clips here and there. I'm not a stardom girly, but I've seen some shit. Good for you. But she was there for the women's match. I'm excited. And like they haven't done people in the crowd sitting in so long. It's like that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Knuckles was there.
Yeah, Knuckles was there.
I didn't so like from what I could see, I just saw him like sitting there, but people posting the pictures of him just staring down Booker T had me in fucking tears. I was losing my mind. I was like laughing to myself, crying. It was so fucking funny.
So in between Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Night 1 is when everyone arrived at the cabin. Kate came back. John and Caroline showed up shortly after, along with Shelly and Jordan, and then Will and Allison showed up with all of the food. Will had said, "Hey, I'll be there in about 5 minutes," or maybe it was 20 minutes. I don't remember. I went to check my phone because I had a hotspot and everything. And I remember that he showed up 20 minutes after he said he was going to be there because apparently they had to make a couple stops on the way in. But I was like, man, that was the longest 5 minutes of my life.
Time's not real.
He got there. First thing he said after giving me a hug was, "You're a real person." I'm like, did you think I was AI? I mean, I know I'm funny, but I'm not that fucking funny. Like,
you're real. I've met you. You're a real person.
Exactly. I'm a real person. But no, dude, it was so cool meeting Will and Allison in person. I thought he was, because he always talks about how he's like 6 foot tall. I don't know why I thought 6 foot tall was gonna be a hell of a lot taller than it really was. But like I thought he was gonna be way taller, and because I was like worried, I was like, this cabin's got low ceilings. I hope he can walk around in here. Like, no, he was only like a couple inches taller than me. He was good.
Good.
I found out that John and Caroline had briefed Shelly and Jordan on the evening's festivities and got them kind of up to speed onto what was happening in WrestleMania. And surprisingly, Shelly, who is a lawyer, was very interested and asking questions. Jordan got into the show, even though he hasn't watched in years, enough so that even though they didn't stick around for night 2, they went back to their hotel her sister works at a zoo in Indy. So they came down into Indianapolis, visited the zoo on Thursday, and then Friday came out the same time we did from Indianapolis. We all got together and did the dinner. So Sunday morning, they got up and drove back to Indianapolis for the eclipse. And then stayed. We'll talk about that. We're not there yet. Shut up. Stayed.
Wow, that's crazy. So crazy.
And watch WrestleMania night too, like without us being there to prompt them. Like John texts awesome. John texts his brother and he's like, "Yeah, so did you see Cody Rhodes match?" And he's like rattling shit off and he was all excited. And so, it was really cool.
Aww,
Will and Allison during the show were sharing as much knowledge. Like Shelly was asking all sorts of questions about wrestling and the history of it and everything like that. And I'm like, talk to Will. He's the historian. He's
that guy.
Oh shit. I'm just dick jokes. So like, I don't really know wrestling.
Is it okay?
No, so that was fun. That was cool. They got into the show. Night 1 was a blast. Like I said, Will made all that fucking food. John and Caroline brought bunt cakes, like little mini bunt cakes that were all different flavored. And then they had little wrestlers to go in them to celebrate their birthday. So we did bunt cakes night 1, brownies with the 37 blow out the candles on night 2.
Nice.
All right. So, you guys hung out at WWE World Friday night? That's cool. So there's a TikTok that is available for you guys to go check out at TikTok/
Smackin' Raw on TikTok. Jesus Christ, you could have said that.
There we go. That's what the fuck it is. At Smackin' Raw on TikTok. So my best friend John tells me, "I got you a present, but you cannot open it until everyone's here." Okay, fine. Apparently, Shelly and Jordan knew about it, not even really knowing who he was. My wife knew about it. John and Caroline knew about it. I don't know if John snuck off with Will and Allison and told them about it or not. because John and Will hit it off, and I told John, you two are not allowed to be best friends and cut me out of this relationship. Like, just because you live an hour from each other doesn't mean you guys just get to start hanging out all the time and just remove me. Like, I'm still important here. You're still my best friend, John, and Will, you're still my man. Like, you guys can't just get rid of me. But anyway, so I start opening it up because, like, I don't trust John. I've known John for a long time.
Fair, yeah.
And I see the bare feet, and I'm like, you didn't fucking do this. And he's like, wait. He got everyone in there, and they all pulled out their fucking phones. So I already kind of knew what it was before I pulled it out because I saw the bare feet. I had an idea. So I pull it out. Sure shit, it's Matt Riddle. And no bullshit on it. It says, to Matt, my number one fan, with his autograph. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, you guys paid to get his autograph. You bought this thing. You did, like, I can't throw it away. It's a gift for my 37th birthday, right? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And I was physically distraught because now I'm stuck with this fucking thing. Like, where am I going to put it? I don't fucking know. Well, what am I going to do with it? I don't fucking know. I had a bunch of really good ideas after Reek said, oh, we could have done a bunch of fun shit, but it was too late at that point.
Too late.
So I walked up to John. I whispered in his ear, I'm like, I'm going to fucking get you back for this. About 5 minutes later, John came up and he's like, listen, we bought the toy at TJ Maxx. It was like $5.99 or some shit. I forged his signature and wrote that stuff on there. We didn't actually get his autograph. So, like,
That's
you don't have to keep it if you don't want to. I'm like, well, now with this information, I think I know what we're doing. Because John was, and always will be a fucking pyro. For as long as I've known him, he's been a pyro. I'm like, we're gonna burn this fucking thing. We're gonna burn that witch at the stake like he deserves.
Burner.
We planned on doing it night 2. That did not happen. We were having too much fun and it got late and we forgot. So we ended up doing it Monday night. Was when I burned that. So then I spliced them together. So if you go to @Smackin Raw on TikTok, you can see the video of me opening the gift. Not very happy. And the video of me burning it and John yelling at me about how his girlfriend spent all that money on that toy and I just threw it away and how I'm an asshole while she just laughs as Matt Riddle burns in the fire and melts.
In the fire.
And then after we cleared all the plastic out, we roasted s'mores and had a good time. So
nice. It was a win-win.
But yeah, no, night 1 for me was fucking awesome. Like, we had a blast. Everyone was enjoying the show, the matches, the oohs, the ahs. I enjoy watching wrestling with people who aren't into wrestling and watching them, like, get captivated by it.
Yeah.
I had that with Kate when she got back into it when we started watching. I had that with John's girlfriend, Caroline, who I took to her first show. Kate's best friend, Danny's been getting into wrestling. Actually, Danny hit me up. She goes, I want to go to a wrestling show with you because Kate doesn't like to go to live shows. And Danny is dating Kate's brother, so he also isn't into wrestling. So she needs someone to go. And I'm the person.
This is exactly what happened with you and John and Caroline. Like, Kate and John stayed and you guys went to a show.
Yeah, we went to the first ever NXT Women's War Games show in Chicago. So she's like, Friday, June 21st, they're doing a show in Chicago. I want to go and I want you to come with me. I don't want to go by myself. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Just like get the tickets. Let me know what I owe you. You know, whatever you're comfortable with, and we'll go. We'll have a good time. So she got the tickets because she's like, should I wait for more seats to open up? I'm like, if there's something in your price range that you want, just fucking get them. Like, we'll go. We'll have a good time. Just get them now. So she got them. I'm like, how much do I owe you? She didn't respond. So right before I came down, I went upstairs and I said, hey, because Kate was on the phone with her. I'm like, you never told me what I owe you for the tickets. And she goes, I just want you to pick me up from the train and then give me a ride back. And then you don't have to worry about the tickets. Just consider it your birthday present. I was like, oh, okay. And it's really, we'll talk about that too. It was really cool too, because the first time I ever went to a show was a SmackDown with my dad and John and my friend Phil. And like, we were kind of high up and she's like, our seats are kind of high up there. I'm like, first off, it's the Allstate. There aren't really high up seats, but like, it'll be a good time. But I'm like, I can take you to your first SmackDown the first show I went to was a SmackDown. Like this is kind of cool. So I can
That's
reminisce a little
awesome.
bit. I actually haven't
Aw.
been to a SmackDown since I went with my dad, John, and Phil back in 05 or whatever the fuck it was, 04, 05.
Jesus.
I've been to Raw, I've been to pay-per-views, I have not been to a SmackDown, so.
That's kind of how I feel about like Raw. Like Raw usually doesn't like swing through Pittsburgh. It's usually like SmackDown or live shows. It's rarely a Raw. So like, I get that. That's fair.
Yeah. And now when Vince bitches about how I don't go to shows with them, but I'm going to go to shows with Danielle Lamones, I can be like, well, she bought me a fucking ticket. You want to buy me tickets? I'll take the day off and go with you.
There you go.
I'll even pick you up. You can be my date. But Zoe has repeatedly said her favorite wrestler is Io Shirai or Iro Shirai, as she says.
Yeah.
And was all excited about it. She was all over Will and Allison and Jordan and Shelly, just like having a blast. It was a fun time. How was WrestleMania Night 1 for heel?
Cold as fuck. Listen, I'm sick of this shit. I knew. Listen, I'm in PA. I know my weather. That shit was absurd. It was that wind. That wind was brutal. I had a t-shirt. I had my mommy's always on top shirt. Got to rep my lady, which, she's so pretty. And the entrance was dope as shit with Motionless in White. She's wanted that for so long. So she got that at Mania. Fuck yeah. But no, cool as fuck. I was straight up not having a good time with it. There you go. They met. It's real. They're real people.
And Bisexual Taker was there too. He posed with us.
Bisexual Taker. Listen, Bondage Taker. He has so many names now. It's my favorite thing. Her long hair. Everything about Rhea Ripley. I love her so much. That was a great way to start WrestleMania because I wasn't that cold yet, so I was just like, hell yeah, let's go. I'm in it. And then the night progressively got colder, and I was like, I want to die. I was freezing. I had my hood up. My hands were numb. I was still cheering. All these people bitching and complaining about, there is no. First of all, learn how sound works. It goes up in a stadium that's open. So you guys are stupid. And we were fucking cold. Like, I don't know what you want from me. You guys are stupid. Everyone bitching and complaining on Twitter, specifically.
They do that with every open air arena. Like, don't even let it bother. I don't. So, let's talk about Twitter real quick while we're here.
Okay.
For the little bit that I did dip in, I want to say it was Sunday morning.
Okay.
On Twitter, all I saw was WrestleMania Night 1 was mid. Bullshit about like AEW selling out more tickets for All In than WrestleMania sold out night 1, like, or ticket sale like all that dumb shit, right? People bitching about, WrestleMania was so quiet, the show sucked. It's like, I enjoyed the fuck out of that show.
Yeah.
Both nights.
Yeah.
I'd say, except for the main event, night 2 didn't pack as much punch out of maybe a couple things sprinkled in. I feel like night 1 was rock solid from beginning to end. Night 2 kind of ebbed and flowed a little bit for me, personally. But overall, I enjoyed both shows. I got literally everything I could have wanted out of both shows. I couldn't have a better fucking WrestleMania.
So, I can agree with that. Like, night 1 and night 2, good things all around for both. Main event of night 1, I was just like, at that point, I was just so cold. I was like, I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. Can this hurry the fuck up? I'm sick of this. Listen, I saw people in hats, gloves, scarves, blankets. Like, people were bundled the fuck up. There's not much we can really do at that point. We were cold. They ran out of hot chocolate at one point, so like,
Whenever they ran out of hot chocolate, hoodies, all sorts of shit.
Yeah, so like people can only do so much. But some people were playing, some people weren't. Like I had a jacket on and a hood, but like it was the wind. That's literally what it was. Like I'm fine in 52-degree weather, but when a wind is brutal and bitter, that shit sucks.
I'm from the Windy City. It's always brutal and bitter.
Fair. Like sometimes it gets a little dicey out here, but like not that bad where I'm consistently in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But night one, I was like the only person. Wait, that happened night one, right? Hold on, I gotta like remember chain of events. The shows are a blur because so much happened in those 2 nights. Okay, so the only thing I was not happy with, I was the only person cheering for Sami Zayn's downfall, and I didn't get that. I wanted Big Goon to win. And
Night Allison.
Good night, Allison. Even like the guy next to me, like the sections I was in, great both nights. Just saying. The one guy next to me was like the dad of like a family or whatever, and we were like talking like throughout the match. He was like, Sami Zayn needs to hit 7 haluva kicks to pin Gunther. I was like, all right, well, we'll count that as the brainbuster counts as 2, so we're at 3 right now. And then he hits like another one or like another 2. Like the total like didn't hit 7, but I was just like, that's it. Are you fucking kidding me? Everyone like stood up around me, cheered. I sat my ass down. I felt like I was just not in the mood. I was like, no, I had to watch Tony D lose earlier in the night, and now Gunther's reign is over? I'm mad. I was straight up not having a good time. Gunther did fuck up. He was, looking at Sammy's wife, talking shit, as a heel does. But, like, as soon as they, like, did that backstage thing with, like, Kevin and everyone was, like, losing their minds, I was like, oh, fuck, he's gonna win. I was so sad. It's fine.
I mean, Chad wasn't there. It was what it was. Gunther's reign had to end eventually. I'm going to be interested to see, especially with the draft, because I have a feeling some stuff's going to be on hold till the draft. If it is Gunther Cody, Rocky versus Drago.
Sidebar, I didn't get Cody running with the TWC running up those fucking Rocky steps. I got nothing. I asked for one thing.
Trick did it.
Trick's
and
allowed.
He came out in his boxing gear.
I got that. But, like, I didn't get the TWC, I just saw the video. They did run up the steps. Those kids are adorable. And I'm just happy they got to experience all that shit live. That's what it's for. It's for moments like that. So shout out to Cody for holding it down for these kids. Specifically those kids. But like
I wasn't mad at Sammy waiting. Like, would I have rather it have been Chad Gable? Yeah, but at that point he wasn't there. So like,
no,
would I want Chad to just win it on like the Raw the next night? Not really. Like, yeah, sure, Raw after Mania could have been cool, I guess, but we don't really do anything special for the Raw after Mania anymore. Yeah.
No, I got beef with WWE anyways, because like it should have been Chad Gable.
It should have been Chad Gable.
I got beef. Should have been Chad fucking Gable. Could have had Chad's wife and kids there. But no, Sami Zayn. Fuck
this
off.
Video of me burning that Matt Riddle is like blowing the fuck up. It is probably the most popular video on my entire TikTok. I should just find more Matt Riddle memorabilia and burn it in a bonfire.
Jesus Christ.
I can't recreate like the authenticity of getting it as a gift though, so that kind of bums me out. But
I can't wait for Chad to beat the absolute shit out of Sami Zayn in his hometown. Just like he loses the match or whatever, and then just goes ape shit. Please have Jason Jordan come out and be the one to pull him off. I will lose my mind.
Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. So I looked at this, right? So Jade was Storm.
Yes.
Bianca was Cyclops.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
I don't know who Naomi was. I was trying to figure that out. I thought maybe Jubilee. I couldn't tell if she had fireworks on her gear. So I thought maybe Jubilee. She had that hat, and my first thought, because she came out first, was like, oh, it's Kung Lao.
Oh, see, I saw a hat and I thought Raiden. For some reason. I don't know why.
We both went Mortal Kombat.
I went Mortal Kombat, yeah.
Well, we both did. I went Kung Lao, you went Raiden, but they were doing X-Men, and I'm pretty sure Bianca had the visor. She was doing Cyclops. So I'm assuming because of the glow that it was
maybe
Rogue too.
I couldn't see like gear, like that wasn't close in any way, shape, or form like that. And they weren't showing like the entrances like on the screens. So like I was kind of like squinting a little bit, so I don't necessarily know. But the other dude next to me was like said something about Jade's hair, not like in a mean way, but I was like, oh no, that's her natural hair. Like she normally wears a wig. Like this is her natural hair and she looks fucking great. He's like, oh, well then never mind. I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. I'm so sick of male I need to go on a rant real quick. I'm so sick of male wrestling fans. So rewind to TakeOver. I'm calling it takeovers. Two dudes next to me, whatever. During the women's tag, the guy furthest from me, because I was like the third seat in, he was explaining to the guy next to me, like, I guess that guy like doesn't watch NXT or anything, so it was like a little like behind and like, oh, who's this, whatever. So he was explaining it, and I'm listening to him explain who these girls are, like twitching. Like I tweeted about it. I was like fuming.
How was he explaining who these girls were?
So he was like, oh well, it's like this girl, because he was doing a lot of pointing. So he was like, this girl, Thea, was friends with this girl, points at JC, and then it's like how he explained it, the teams was star, generic superstar is how he explained these teams to his friend. And I didn't say anything when he was talking about Kiana and Izzy, because I was like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm just gonna.
But when he got to Fallon,
when he got to Kalani, bless you. Jesus Christ.
I told you, dude. I was so good all weekend. I got back to fucking Illinois, and like my allergies just like, no, fuck you. How dare you leave us?
How dare you stand where he stood? He got to Kalani, and I was just like, he was saying like, oh well, you know, like he was also explaining like the gears were similar, like Izzy and Kalani both had like green gear on or whatever the fuck he was saying. I was like kind of tuning out of what he kept saying, but he was like, yeah, like she's a generic superstar, generic wrestler, whatever. And I was like, actually, Kalani is one of the best wrestlers they have right now. She's a part of the NIL line, like a bunch of these college athletes coming up. She's actually really fucking good. And the guy in between us was like, oh, okay, yeah, so like that's kind of cool. And then his friend was like, yeah, you should listen to her. She probably knows more. And I was like, uh-huh. I do know more. Crazy.
She's the host of the She-Lead Showcase, a show about women wrestling.
And it's the fact that I actually know who these women are because I watch NXT every week and I care about these women. Like that's the compelling storyline. I was in that moment.
As I'm looking at Gigi Dolan and fishnets.
Well, I mean, mood. But like that shit just like had me fuming. Cause like don't try and degrade the women just because they weren't the main parts of the original story doesn't mean they aren't crucial parts of the story. Don't call them generic wrestler 1 and 2. Fuck you, A. Like, I was fine all weekend.
I could give
twice.
like I couldn't let Kiana, Kalani, or Fallon pass with that. Maybe Izzy Dame, just because I don't really know outside of Kiana's new best friend who or what Izzy Dame is yet.
But just, I was
And
just
she's
like,
not even my favorite new friend of JC Jane.
it's Jasmine Nix.
It is Jasmine Nix.
I know you too well. Yeah, so that should have me fuming. I was just like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna hurt somebody. I'm gonna fist fight a grown ass man at the Wells Fargo Center, and I'm gonna escort it out. That's not gonna be fun. But I didn't. I held my breath, held my tongue for the most part until I had to explain correctly who these women were, because I explained the story in a shorter amount of time better than his friend did, because his friend's a sexist piece of shit.
Well, that was so we kind of had that discussion about the main event when because Shelly asked, she goes, so John said that if Maui and Roman, because we were calling him Maui all night for Zoe, and Zoe was rooting for Maui, just so you know. I tried to tell her that Maui's a bad guy here. She didn't care.
I mean,
I want Maui to win.
Fair.
So if Maui and Roman win, then it's bloodline rules, and if Cody and Seth win, then it's one-on-one match.
Normal match, yeah.
She goes, so what are bloodline rules? And we always kind of looked at her and we're like, nobody fucking knows. It's basically no holds barred.
It's basically rules.
It's basically no rules, yeah. And then Will was explaining to her, like, all right, so, you know, yes, if Cody wins, he gets his one-on-one shot with Roman, and if he beats Roman one-on-one, he does what he couldn't do last year, but this time there's no interference to save Roman. This and that. He goes, but if the other team wins, then he has to go through it's Cody versus the world, and if he wins that, he comes out even bigger. And she goes, oh, so then we want that, right? Like that's what we want. I'm like, yes, that's what we want. So like, again, it was fun having these conversations. She was very engaged and interested, so it was really cool talking with her and Jordan and explaining shit. Even though Jordan, I'm not sure if he was talking about Motionless in White or Rhea Ripley or both, but referred to somebody as Marilyn Manson. And I'm like, I'd fuck Marilyn Manson if that's what Marilyn Manson looked like.
Probably.
I think it was Rhea too.
They looked the exact same, and that was my favorite thing about it.
So I was like, I've never wanted to fuck Marilyn Manson more in my life than I did tonight. So that's
fair. Yeah.
No, so that was fun. Like I had the fun interaction, you had the really shitty I hate these fucking people interaction. But we both got to educate people, so that was cool.
Yeah. It's like, don't talk shit about the women around me or I will end you on sight. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of all yous. Oh, Jesus.
That I bet is really cool. So Zoe's kind of into it. Like even tonight, she goes, because we got home late, I gave her a bath and everything. I was like, you can stay up. And she goes, are we going to watch wrestling? And I'm like, yeah, Daddy's watching wrestling. She goes, all right, Daddy, I'll watch wrestling with you. And like we do a thing where I pretend to pin her and I taught her when to kick out and she does all that. She's starting to learn wrestlers' names and like whose Daddy's favorites are and stuff like that. So she's still a little too young to like really get what's going on, but she's kind of getting there. So that was also fun this weekend to watch her kind of. She more so just wants to jump around and drop kick the air and flip on stuff.
Don't we all?
Like I forget what we were watching on Sandler, but she kept going, "Hey, Daddy, watch this!" And like she was just jumping off the couch like she was a wrestler and making noises. And I'm like, "That was awesome, baby! You're gonna be such a good wrestler when you grow up." But
kick ass.
Bloodline Rules was, or not Bloodline Rules. The tag match, Maui winning the tag match. Your son was yeeting all night.
Let's calm down here. The main event of night one, I expected shenanigans a little bit here and there, but like I get it. The Dwayne is involved. When Roman speared Dwayne, I was like, there we go. This will come back. Everyone remember this moment. Cody losing to... I was just like, Cody ate the pin? That's what had me shocked. that part alone, I really thought Seth was going to get the pin, which I'm giving Seth Rollins his flowers now before we even get to night 2. That man put his body on the line for the story. And I'll get more into it when we talk about night 2.
Yeah.
Flowers for Seth Rollins.
No, I mean, I really enjoyed night 1. I had a blast from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. Everything went perfect because I saw after night 1, oh, WrestleMania is mid. It's this, it's that. I'm like, dude, I don't like. Don't get me wrong. So like, I actually went on TikTok and I was giving Chris and Enforcer shit because you remember we did their shows and they were talking about how Cody was not gonna win this and that. So I was like, so I just want to know how my Heels for Life boys are doing because like I saw Enforcer out there in the fuck your story hoodie on TikTok and saw you guys standing there doing the Bloodline pose with the Bloodline music playing at the top of the Rocky steps. So like, I'm doing good after WrestleMania. I just want to know how you guys are doing. And Chris, like, he messaged me back in bed, talked about what a great weekend he had, this and that. But like, he doesn't like WWE, and I don't understand it, but I respect that. Like, if you're honest and say, I sat down, I give it a try, it's just not what I enjoy. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not gonna knock you for that, right? Like, it's not what you enjoy. Because I'm the same way. I don't understand. I watch AEW because there are people in AEW that I enjoy, and on occasion they do things that I enjoy. But the majority of AEW I do not enjoy, and I don't understand why people are so head over heels for this product. Because it's not for me. Whereas I couldn't have asked for a better fucking WrestleMania, and I also don't understand how people could not have enjoyed it. But that's just because I don't have the other perspective. So, like, if you are a person who loves AEW and loves what AEW does and does not sits down and tries and just cannot get into the WWE product, we do not have the same point of view on what we enjoy in wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's not. We're never going to agree, but there's not. I fucking love WrestleMania. I love sports entertainment. I was sports motherfucking entertained from fucking head to toe, from balls to tip, like sports entertainment the whole way.
Stupid. I feel like we need to talk about night 2 specifically. We've gushed about night 1. Night 2. Listen, Pam got her moment. Bailey got to shine. Yep. I'm still a little salty. I didn't get Paramore, but like, I'll take it. That entrance was crazy.
And so this is what beautiful. I mean. Zoe says Io Shirai is her favorite wrestler, but I don't think she realized what was going on because like she didn't notice that Io Shirai lost her match and then her title. Like she didn't. She's not making those connections at 3.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
Like
yeah.
But night 2 for me, we started same time. So like we went out to lunch. I did lunch. We did lunch at this place called Edley's Barbecue, which the food was good. However, I ordered like me, Kate, and Zoe just ordered appetizers, and everyone else ordered like brisket tacos, and they got their brisket tacos, and our appetizers took fucking forever to show up. Like everyone was done eating their tacos before we got our food, and we ordered a bunch of appetizers, which was weird. But other than that, like the food was good. Went back, like I said, hung out. I started watching the Bray documentary. Will and Allison showed up. Same time, about a little after 4. Then John and Caroline showed up. Jordan and Shelley, after lunch, went back to Indy. Again, we blew out my birthday candles. We cut the brownie. I had the brownies. Will can bake and cook. And by the way, if you haven't had Will's meat in your mouth, it's fucking delicious. I need to say that again because I said it on the pre-show. Will's meat melts in your mouth.
I can't.
You should try Will's meat.
No.
Well, why not?
I'm not in Tennessee.
Well, you can go to Tennessee and try Will's meat. Maybe Will bring his meat to you. He brought his meat to me. He drove over an hour to deliver his meat to me.
Well, I'm a little further than an hour. Tennessee's like Actually, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Some indie mud show out that way. He can come visit you and then let you taste his meat.
Can we just move on?
All right. By the way, him and my best friend John, like that was the coolest part for me is my podcasting friends and then my lifelong friends. My wife, who Kate had a rough first night, like she broke a tooth, like back here first night, so like she was a little, and then she wanted to get it fixed on Monday, I think Sunday or Monday, and they said that they couldn't fix it. They had overbooked and this whole thing, but she was a little more into it on Sunday than she was Saturday after she broke her tooth. But
Fair.
like everyone got along. Shelly and Jordan, who, like I said, didn't watch wrestling, I wasn't sure what to express, but they got into it. Watching Jordan or John and Will and Allison and Caroline and everyone get together and talk, and just like we all fell in like very quickly into like comfortability, which was cool with 8 people that really only have one connection between them, which is me.
Yeah.
So
true.
It was a good time. But anyway, you want to talk the actual show that you were at for night 2, where it was warm and you weren't suffering.
Yeah. Hi, Justin. I actually forgot to mention Friday. I did the little luncheon thing with Kate from Fightful. She set up this lunch for just women in media in general. So I got to meet a few different people that some I've interacted with, some I haven't. They were all super sweet. It was just ladies gossiping, ladies chilling. It was so much fun. So I appreciate Kate for doing that, and I told her that repeatedly. And like I got to meet Kate in person. Like I've interviewed her, I've hung out with her like on this a few times, but like meeting her in person was super cool. And then I walked my ass 1.5 miles in fucking boots because I'm an idiot to that fucking suplex vintage wrestling store, which is very overpriced, by the way, I will say, but dope as fucking there. Very cool experience to see that. So that was all before SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. I forgot to mention that. But
you also forgot to mention how The Rock kept yelling at the ref and threatening to fire him for doing his job.
Just out of pocket. Dwayne, chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. Night 2, I was ready, you know. I had leggings and then my cargo pants over my leggings just in case.
That's interesting because the photo I saw of Katie.
No.
And I actually showed it to my wife. I'm like, apparently after freezing her ass off the night before, this is what Katie decided to wear tonight too.
No.
If you haven't seen it, it is Katie in Alita cosplay to a T. We are talking baggy jeans, thong up on the hips, see-through top with the bra and everything, hair colored and down.
And listen, I've been waiting to do it since I've had red hair, and I specifically said in that tweet and the Instagram post I was putting more on later.
Well,
I said
more on. This sounds like you completely changed your outfit and didn't wear this.
I just threw a leisure shirt over top that. So like I still had the fishnet stop. Listen, I've been wanting to do it forever, and I finally got to do it. So that's all that really matters.
We could pull the picture up if you want.
No, we're not pulling the picture up. Stop. Enough of this.
Everyone wants. If you guys want to see Katie Wrestling 13 on Twitter,
or just Katie Wrestling on Instagram if you want to see that too. Fucking, I don't care. Which I haven't posted on that Instagram in so long, so it's just like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just boom, 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 pictures. But I did like. I was more prepared in case it was as cold. It was actually fucking warmer night 2. But, you know, I was ready just in case. Towards the main event, though, I was like, my hands are starting to get a little numb. So I was like, well, this fucking sucks. So it did get colder, so I was prepared. Seth and Drew was crazy. Awesome. Hitting that Claymore as soon as the bell rang. Holy shit. I was like not even like fully paying attention. I was just like, whoa, what the fuck?
Seth and Drew was a good match, right? It didn't start till after Drew won the belt, though.
I didn't even get to that yet.
Everybody in the house except for me was upset that Bisexual Taker got his moment at WrestleMania. Everyone was like, because Caroline, my wife, and maybe Allison all kind of have a thing for Drew, I think. So they were very upset that, because I said, listen, Drew got his win in front of a crowd at Mania. The thing that he was robbed of he got his shit, right?
Yeah.
Got his shit, right?
Drew won. Oh, fuck those lights, by the way. Night 2 was terrible with those lights. I was one section over from where I was night 1. Those lights were absolutely terrible. That's why everyone was chanting, turn the lights off, because that shit was terrible. That shit was garbage.
Drew won and then got what the fuck he deserved for running his mouth.
Drew won. He shouldn't have been talking shit in front of Phil.
Not just crazy. In front of Phil. Climbed up seductively like a lion on the table and draped the belt in front of him, talking shit.
Lioness, excuse you.
Yeah,
you see that mane? And then, Drew or Punk blew a kiss to Drew's wife. And cue Bondage Taker's music. I popped. What?
No. Drew stood up and told Punk to suck it.
Yes.
And then turned his back on CM Punk, who then took the compression brace off of his arm,
beat him with it.
Drew off the table by his feet, and hit him over the head with it. Because it's one thing to crawl over and talk your shit and try and seduce me. It's another thing to ask me to suck your penis in front of a crowd of 72,000.
I mean, yeah, Drew definitely deserved that.
Oh yeah, no, he got what he deserved.
Priest music hit, and I was just like, oh my god, it's happening. I've now seen both the women's and the men's briefcase cashed in on someone. I almost missed Liv's completely because that match beforehand was absolute trash. Rightfully so. But that moment was so cool to see. Priest 100% deserves it. We've all been waiting. We've been giving him shit. We're like,
Punk was so happy.
Seth has been held together by silly putty for 8 months, and Damien's never gonna cash in. Cashes in as soon as Drew is down. That's crazy. I loved it.
Oh yeah, Punk is gonna make Drew's life a living hell. He already is. Will and Allison were talking about how they don't think that Drew's been offered a new contract yet, and that might also be why they didn't keep the belt on him. However, like I said, the point wasn't necessarily to give Drew another title run. It was to give him what he didn't get, which was the moment in front of a crowd, and to build to the next feud, which is CM Punk eventually.
And Drew 1000%, and I was saying it during the pandemic too, there is evidence of me saying it, he deserved that moment in front of a crowd, hands down. So him getting that moment, I was just like, you know what? Good on you, Drew. Player of the year, getting his moment. And then I was like, oh, just kidding. Damian Priest said, fuck you. Ah! Quick moment. But that was great. What else happened to talk about? Bayley, that beautiful entrance. The men bowing at her feet as they should. Because respect Bayley. I just love Bayley so much. She's fantastic. That's actually insane. I didn't know that.
Did we talk about the tag title match? Was that night 1 or night 2?
That was night 1. We didn't even talk about.
Yeah. R-Truthing.
Hot tag.
It was night 1 because Jordan and Shelly really enjoyed R-Truth and kind of the whole thing that was going on. When we told Shelly it was a ladder match, she thought maybe a ladder, a bracket ladder. That's what she thought. She's like, oh, they're actually ladders. This was the first time she'd ever seen a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Theory and Waller winning, whatever. Truth doing the tag spot and then pinning in the middle of the ring.
He countered for himself too.
He won. Seeing, dude, loved that ladder match. Loved R-Truth getting the win.
JD almost missing the tables because his head is too big because he had too much momentum. Fucking Funko head ass looking motherfucker. I guess the ladder Priest was trying to climb towards the end was broken.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's why. So I couldn't see that. Like I could tell. Like I saw Jessica Carr like kind of like get
Priest
like,
was on.
attention.
I was gonna say I think Priest was on one side and Miz or somebody was on the other, and the person that was on the other side, one of the legs was like buckling on one side, like you could see it
That's
physically
different.
like bending and twisting.
No, yeah, I couldn't like see minute details like that, even with them like showing everything. But like I did see, like Jessica Carr like get his attention and be like, "This shit's broken, get rid of it," which they did. Tommaso Ciampa's a sick motherfucker because how are you gonna do that spot off the top of the ladder? I was like, that's disrespectful.
Everybody was just like, especially Jordan and Shelley were like, holy shit. Like everyone was just,
Oh my god, pandemonium. That was the craziest ladder match I've ever seen. And I watched Money in the Bank. I was there for Money in the Bank. Like,
speaking
Money
of
in the Bank
crazy shit, back to night 2.
back to night 2.
Why? Don't get me wrong. For what it was, I enjoyed it. But why the fuck was Bully Ray there as a referee for that
Should have been
tag?
Devon.
Should have been Devon.
I said it in the tweet too. Devon's better. Fuck Bubba Ray Dudley.
Like, don't get me
It's
wrong.
because
After Cross got in his face and he put on the glasses and we did the Dudley Boy spots and had the fun, I enjoyed it. I did.
I can tell you why Bubba was there. Philadelphia and a street fight. EC Dub. That's why he was there. That is why.
Could have been Devon, could have been RVD,
Could've
could have been Tommy Dreamer, could have been literally anyone.
Could have been Devon. But like that was cool. Love the Almighty Prophets getting that moment as they should. B-Fab and Scarlett got into it, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which B-Fab looks phenomenal, by the way. She looks so good now. Like, just her presentation in general, everything about her. Chef's kiss. And Scarlett's just got dropped it gorgeous. It's not even fair. Not even fair. Wow, why are you putting that negativity out here, Bakley? What the fuck? How dare you?
I think he's saying Montez is too good to be in a tag team match or second best. That Bobby sees what Montez is going to be and he's going to turn on him before Montez gets too big for his own britches.
Listen, they were a united front at Wrestlemania because I was there for that part. We had fuck AOP chants going on at Wrestlemania. It was crazy. But just the Almighty Prophets getting that moment in general, especially because Bobby was left off of WrestleMania last year, just had him pose with that stupid fucking statue, and that was it. And now it's some shit. And the Prophets were a part of one hell of a tag match last year. I mean, they're getting on the card and they're killing it in the spots that they're put in, hands down. Listen, everybody shot into that match. I don't know what you're talking about. Jeez. What else happened on night 2?
Bailey got her moment. Oh, Logan Paul was that night 2?
Randy coming down on the golf cart with Kevin, amazing. Randy like going for the RKO and be like, "Shit, my bad, sorry, homie." Like, old habits die hard. He's a snake. He doesn't really do friends. It happens, you know. But like
KSI
they were
being there, just doing KSI shit. Like we didn't know.
Was
like,
not KSI.
Every time it was not.
No.
Who was it?
It was a different streamer. His name's like I Show Speed or something. I don't know. He's another streamer. I don't know who he is. So yeah, no. Oh yeah, I couldn't even like. I didn't even notice the truck at first. I was like, "Where the fuck is Logan Paul at?" And I was like, "Oh, I see it. Gross."
You know, I saw him pull the mask off, and I was like, "Oh, that's Logan Paul's friend," and then tuned out because we do that spot every single time.
Randy kicked the shit out of him. He flew though. That was fun. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Logan Paul. I was more in it for Kevin and Randy duking it out. Also, the Prime logo, I completely forgot it was there a lot of the time. I'm so happy they didn't do that colored shit with it, like the red, white, and blue. Like, we didn't need that. So I'm happy it was just like the normal. Like, I was fine with it. I was gonna be like real pissed if it was like crazy, but like I was happy. And Randy wasn't injured.
Yep.
Dak, Jack, looking like a snack. I got to see it.
Matt Riddle's not there. He's safe.
Sure. I don't know if Jake was ringside or he was like up in one of the boxes, but Jake was there. I know that.
Yay! Who gives a fuck?
I mean, I just figured that out today. What else happened?
I'm gonna burn a Logan Paul action figure next. That's what I'm getting John for his birthday is a signed bottle of Prime.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, LA Knight and Allen. That was fun.
Yep.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Crazy pops. Oh my god. The entire weekend, that's all I kept hearing was, yeah, what? Yeah, you. Like, shut the fuck up, all of you. I'm trying to just walk through the arena right now. I'm sick of this. Everyone needs to take it down a second. I said to myself, I mumbled it. I was like, I really hate wrestling fans sometimes. They were.
Which is funny because Reek and TC were talking about how nobody has anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about LA Knight anymore.
Oh my god. I'll tell them. I heard it the entire weekend. In person, in the parking lots, walking around at WWE World, like any chance anybody. Crazy. Are we missing anything from my two besides the main event, obviously?
I don't know. Who cares? Let's talk about the main event. That's what I really want to talk about anyway.
I got the Avengers. We got the Avengers.
Kinda, yeah.
And listen,
First and foremost, when Cody went for the table and Roman put the table back under the ring and said, no. No.
Oh, big boos from the crowd.
I popped. I laughed. That was
funny. I was like, all right, I like it. It's funny. Like, it kind of took a second for, like, it probably took about, like, 15 minutes before Jimmy came out, which is kind of shocking. I was like, okay, we get, like, a little bit of a normal match for now.
Well, they had to wait until it looked like Cody had the upper hand. And once it looked like Cody had the upper hand and Roman wasn't going to get the win, Jimmy had to come out.
Bloodline member number one, Jimmy Uso, taking on Jey Uso running down the ramp. Those two fighting it out on the ramp, going through a table that was next to the ramp off the stage.
It speared him off the stage, yes.
Oh, yeah, and then they were probably just, like, chilling down there. Because, like, they didn't show up for the rest of the match.
Insert Solo Sikoa.
Insert
doing exactly what he did last year and scaring the living fuck out of me.
Stop wearing the hoodie. We know it's you. Like, I don't want to see the hoodie on Solo Sikoa ever again.
I have not been more traumatized by a fucking false count or I have not been so worried that it was going to be a 3 count, hoping that there was a kick out since WrestleMania 30 with Taker and Brock.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
When I was for sure he was kicking out because he could not lose, and then he did. And then I was for sure last year Cody was kicking out because he can't lose this, and then he did. So I couldn't allow myself to believe that there was no world in which Cody Rhodes wasn't winning this match. So every time we got real fucking close, I got real fucking scared.
I got really scared. I told Haley, like, throughout the weekend, I was like, if Cody loses, their dead ass will be a riot in this fucking place. I swear to God.
false finish is the word that I was looking for. Not false.
You almost had it.
Right there.
So close.
Just a tip away.
Jesus Christ. But Solo does Solo things, scares the shit out of all of us, thinking Cody's gonna lose. I screamed, I cried, I knew Cena was gonna be there, but like, that's my guy. I was shaking. I was like, no fucking way. Came through the portal as he should. Just everything about John Cena. Just that moment. Last time I saw John Cena at a WrestleMania was 23, and he beat HBK in the main event. So, like, that to here, this moment.
Put Solo through a table.
If you smell. Fucking Dwayne.
I'm not gonna lie to you, he looked kind of scared of Dwayne.
He got that Rock PTSD. That's why.
He beat him once.
Once?
Yeah.
But
the last time they fought, he won. You shouldn't be scared. You know, you've been there, done that.
Well, this is the final boss. Dwayne now.
The final boss.
I hate that part of his music, by the way. It's so dumb.
Listen. Everyone, even Will and Allison, were like, I don't want to give spoilers, but we heard this, and this, blah, blah, blah. And dirt sheets are saying this, and this. Stone Cold, right? So I actually, not even anticipating it, I had an Austin 316 shirt on. Just because it was like 70 out, and when it's 70, I wear shorts and sleeveless shirts, and that was the only sleeveless shirt I packed.
Yeah.
So when the gong hit.
Go ahead.
Very few people have got to watch me mark out in person for shit. The majority of them were already at the cabin. John, Caroline, and my wife, because they were there when The Fiend debuted, and we were watching all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Will and Allison got to visually watch me without speaking or looking at anyone, hear that gong. I stood up out of my chair and was just locked into the TV with a huge smile across my face. I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't acknowledging anyone else was in the. This moment was for me and for me alone. So fucking happy.
Listen, everyone and their mother was expecting. Don't talk about Cena's bald spot like that. That's disrespectful. He's doing his best. Everyone and their mother, their dog, their cats thought Stone Cold. We've all been saying for a few weeks it's gonna be Seth, Jay. We didn't even get that.
Well, Seth showed up, got bitch slapped, and rolled out of the ring, and then he got back up a little later and got bitch slapped again.
Hold on. Don't disrespect Seth's part in this. Seth was Cody's shield. That's why. That was crucial. Because Roman's...
He was, and I mentioned that, but...
Because Roman's PTSD cost him the title. That's on Roman.
It wasn't Roman's PTSD. Roman just said, hey, here's my opportunity to get my fucking lick back, and I'm getting it. You're even wearing the same clothes.
The shield... I'm... Okay. When did Seth... I lost track of time. When did
Seth came out after Cena got dropped.
Yeah, because the Shield music hit, and not gonna lie, part of me was like, is John Moxley here? No way. I was like, for a split second, the tiniest second, I was like, no way they did this. But Seth coming out in the gear with the music, and then yes, got dropped, but like that was his first moment, so he needed to chill. Exactly. Seth is why Roman lost. But then, you know, Dwayne standing there, the gong hit.
Will got to work out in person.
I jumped up, screamed, cried, was shaking. Same reaction I had for Cena a minute and a half beforehand, because no one expected Taker to show up.
But the thing is,
but it makes sense.
And that's what, so like, I text Travis the next morning. I said, we didn't talk all WrestleMania, but I just want you to know my favorite wrestler chokeslammed your favorite wrestler last night. And he goes,
like,
LOL, yeah, I know. Yeah, pretty much. And he did. He's like, it should have been Austin. I'm like, no, it shouldn't have been Austin because Austin, and I tweeted it out, Austin has no ties to Roman Reigns. This match was not about The Rock. All right?
No.
The tag match, kind of a little bit about The Rock. Mostly probably about The Rock. Right?
Yes.
This match this was all about Cody and Roman and mostly Roman. Yeah, it was all about like everyone that Roman has faced, everyone that Roman has done shit with. Travis even went out to post, by the way, The Undertaker's been feuding with the Anoa'i family for decades. Yokozuna, Rikishi, Roman Reigns, The Rock. He's faced them
himself,
all. Yeah, like
he's
been whooping his family's ass for decades.
So like obviously like now that the moment has passed, it makes sense that Taker would show up and be one of the last parts of Roman's undoing. But in the moment, you're just like, did Undertaker really just fucking show up right now?
Here's the thing. I don't ever give two flying fucks if there's a good reason or not. When that gong hits, you've sold me. I'm good. I'm happy.
That's how I felt at Hall of Fame, too. I was not expecting Taker to be the one to kind of somewhat announce the inductee or I don't know. I don't understand their logic, but for Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna be Terry," and I was like, "If I see Terry, I'm walking out this bitch." Like I swear to God, I didn't see Terry, so like, that's fine. Are you good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But yeah, Taker, that gong, hit the choke slam, and then booked it the fuck out there. I saw him running away after the fact. So that was kind of funny. But Seth getting back in the ring, Cody up on one side, Seth up on the other, Roman standing there with a chair. You sure you're good?
I mean, Kate's up there, so I just feel like I keep hearing something. I can't tell if I am or not.
Could be a ghost.
Could also be the TV up there.
Many possibilities.
I feel like if it was Zoe and she was being that loud, Kate would be texting me. So.
True.
Or she'll just come down here and walk in here.
Also true.
One of the two.
I have witnessed both happen.
Cody won. I was happy. It was exactly what I wanted. It was a beautiful moment. He came out with Brandy. We didn't even talk about him coming out with Brandy, and the fact that the dude that made like the Fiend shit and all that was the one that made the skull mask for Cody.
Mm-hmm. Brandy got a huge pop, by the way. Shout out to Brandy.
Brandy gets a huge pop from me every time she shows up. I don't know why everyone hates on her so much.
I don't know.
I need Who Told You It Was Open Mic Night every night.
She's the memes I've been seeing every time Roman says some shit about Brandy is so funny. Ricky Starks was there. Dustin was there, probably in the same box as Ricky Starks.
I was a little sad. I thought we were gonna get a Dustin or not a Dustin, a run-in from Dustin. And when we didn't, at the end, he was calling for a microphone, and I thought he was waving somebody in the ring, and I thought it was Dustin. Like they were at least gonna let him come in and cheer with him at the end.
Nope, he was up in a box. I'm assuming.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I guess Brody Jr. was in the ring too. There was a shit ton of people in there. I couldn't even figure everybody out. Randy, LA Knight, Kevin, Sammy, Phil, all came out to.
So we were talking about this, right? And they were like, "Oh, it's everyone that Roman's beat."
Yeah.
everyone that Roman's beat is in the ring celebrating, and then they're like, I think Will said, except for Drew. And I'm like, yeah, but good guys CM Punk's in there for Drew because Drew was too much of a bitch to show up. But good guys CM Punk's there.
Punk did come back out. Seth got his ass cooked on Sunday. Like, he was hurting. The video of him, like, crying after the match, he was just like, I was like, I can't watch this right now. He really, like, put his body on the line this entire year. His entire
told Drew, you
title
deserved
run.
it, or you fucking deserved it, or something like that.
Yeah, and, like, he was crying then, and then after Cody won, he was just, like, sitting there, like, ringside, because he couldn't really, like, move, and he was, like, crying, and, like, Kevin and Sammy and Jay, like, helped him up and, like, helped him in the ring. It was just like, that's good shit. I was happy. I don't necessarily know. His back probably still isn't 100%. Back probably still isn't 100%. His knee probably. He's taking time off, right? I know that for a fact.
Well, I know Bakley said something up here about him getting hurt in the match with Drew. But I don't know if he said what the injury was.
I don't think he did.
His leg, I believe he re-injured it. Well, him and Becky deserve some well-earned time off.
Oh, yeah. Becky apparently had, like, fucking, like, strep throat or some shit. I didn't know until, like, I found out Sunday. I was like, that's insane. And, like, 102-degree fever. I was like, she shouldn't have wrestled, period.
They do that shit. It's WrestleMania.
They do that shit. Stephanie coming out night 2.
Stephanie did come out night 2.
Stephanie's back in the company. See? Respect to Cody Rhodes.
There we go.
The American Nightmare. What a night. What a weekend.
It was a really good fucking show, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. Especially that main, like, that is the main event I will go back and rewatch. John's brother, like I said, John texted him, and Jordan was like, fucking John Cena and The Undertaker were there. I rewound that and watched it from the beginning.
That's awesome. Just getting, like, moments like that or make it worth it. Hands down.
And then Monday, we went to the zoo.
Nice.
Zoe got her face painted like a giraffe.
Okay. Adorable.
Came back, had a bonfire. I watched Raw on my phone while we were all sitting out by the bonfire after roasting Matt Riddle on an open fire.
As you should. As you should.
I bet they did.
Oh, this weekend blew everything out the water for them. Like, they made a lot of fucking money this weekend.
It's got to be the TV.
Yeah.
You said Raw was not as nice as SmackDown?
No, because where I was sitting, like, it was a sold-out show. I found out after the fact. Yeah, Cody made fucking bank. Like, I didn't buy anything Cody Rhodes. I did buy a Bray shirt at WWE World, though. I was like, I have to. It was there. It's cool. I bought it. I also bought Matt something, but I'm not telling him because I have to mail it to him.
All right, so, all right. I appreciate and love all of you. Thank you all so much for making my birthday special. None of you needed to buy me anything.
I know.
However,
I saw it and I was like, oh, this is...
I don't even think we saw this, so...
You did on Smackin' Around.
Oh, yeah? Did you read the bottom?
No, because you didn't show me the bottom.
It says PSOP, Patron Saint of Podcasting, M. Ritter.
Yeah, you didn't show that part last time.
So it is a custom
flag.
Undertaker flag for
That's
me.
dope.
with the part that's important that everyone except for Katie fucks up. The patron saint of podcasting.
Patron saint of podcasting, Matt Widow. Yeah, and I know I didn't have to get you anything, but I saw it and I was like, oh, Matt's gonna fucking love this.
Will like cooked. They got me that giant Dr. Pepper mug that you guys still haven't seen yet. And then the Undertaker plushie.
That is now
John
Zoe's.
And Caroline. That is now Zoe's. John and Caroline actually also like wrote me a really nice card. They paid for our dinner on my birthday. They got the bun cakes and Butterfingers.
Snacks.
And then you got me something. Danny randomly got me tickets to SmackDown in June, which was cool.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
Kate
your
got
weekend.
me this beautiful boom mic. I wasn't really expecting anything for 37. I just wanted to go to Tennessee and like watch WrestleMania with my friends and meet some friends. Like that's all I really wanted. I got so much more than that this weekend. Like it was fantastic.
And you thought the boom was going to be a Father's Day gift, and ended up being a birthday gift.
Yeah.
So like,
well, that's because what I asked her for, she's like, that can't be a birthday present, and it ended up being a birthday present anyway because I still got it.
She's gonna yell at you every time.
I legit waited till after everything was said and done, and no bullshit, it is what I wish for when I blow up my candles, because I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. Because like you got a 3-year-old, you're on vacation. There's
a lot going on.
So we went outside, sat down on the porch. We both lit a cigarette, and I was like, "Can I say something that might ruin the mood a little bit?" She goes, "I mean, it's over, whatever." I'm like, "This is what I wish for when I blew up my candles. Like this was my birthday wish, and I got it." She just laughed at me. She goes, "You're fucking stupid." I'm like, "Hey, I'm happy."
You got to enjoy your birthday with people you care about, watching something you love, and just enjoying your time. Like, that's what a birthday is supposed to be. So,
also, apparently, Will and Allison also meant to and forgot to bring me like historical porn that they found in Will's dad's like shit that Kate is actually really interested in. So they're going to mail that to me. So you're going to send me whatever you're sending me, and Will and Allison are mailing me historical porn. I still don't know what you're sending me.
And you're not going to know until you get it. I'm ruins the surprise, bro. Come on.
My birthday was over 3 days ago. 4 days ago.
But I didn't have anything to mail it. I still don't have anything to mail it. I got shit this weekend. I also got paid this weekend, so like I need to get money. I'm very low on money now because I had to pay for parking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's a lot of paying for parking. Yeah, just a lot of money spent this weekend. Yeah, but like I don't have a lot now.
Well,
because things are expensive.
Yep.
Paying $5 for a water at a venue is asinine.
Fair.
Just saying.
I had a really good weekend though, and like it wasn't just like the gifts or like I had a bunch of people reach out and wish me a happy birthday. Like I said, Bakley was in my DMs all weekend, sending me pictures, telling me about his time. I got to talk to you guys a little bit on and off when I was talking to Bakley, I was talking to you because, like I said, Allison Sunday night used her phone, so like I was able to get on my phone for the most part Sunday night and shit.
Yeah,
like he was sharing with me his experience, and like I got to see like how cool it was for him and his kid. So that was cool, and I was asking you how things were going, and you were telling me about stuff, and yeah, like the Heels for Life guys, and it was a good weekend all around. Like I appreciate everybody who reached out and wished me a happy birthday, whether it was through Facebook or Twitter or wherever. Thank you guys for making me feel special.
You are special. You are. I don't make the rules, bud. Right. I'm just saying. I'm all right. Shut up. And yeah, I'm not ruining a surprise of what I got you. Allison knows because I told her because she sent me a picture of you with your Matt Riddle kind of signed figure.
Yeah.
The
Well,
video.
Special is my middle name. She said I didn't. Well, she didn't know until after she sent you the picture. She's like, I didn't tell Katie that it wasn't really Matt Riddle's autograph. And she's like, we should just let everyone think it really is. And I thought about that, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like burning something that they actually paid money to get signed for is a bigger dick move than.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, yeah, at the time I didn't know that it was a forgery. But also, it just makes it funnier.
So,
because like she sent me that, and I was like, that's absolutely terrible. But she agrees that you.
Yeah,
I've
already got 40 likes and 6 comments on that fucking video.
There you go.
I don't have 40 likes on anything.
I really don't post on TikTok anymore.
You never really did post on TikTok.
No.
However, you could have posted that Lita cosplay on TikTok. You probably would have got a lot of thumbs ups, likes, and comments, and phone numbers, and DMs, and
nothing.
Pictures of weird looking penises.
No, I'm good. Surprisingly, none of that. Which, very happy, because fuck that. But yeah, good weekend. I'm home. I'm exhausted. I have my sister's wedding next week.
We have fuck that. That's next week to worry about. You got shit to worry about this week. What do you got to worry about this week, Katie?
Well, Sheely Showcase on Thursday. Smackin' It Raw on Saturday. And I believe Sunday is getting offed.
Which means
I have to watch Night of the Demons, the first one, and get all horror news and things together. I'm
glad we talked about it on Tuesday.
I knew. I was just like, fuck. This is a busy, 2 weeks.
It is trying to. 2 weeks. Well, I mean, you had last week off, but you were out and Mania doing shit. And you'll have next week off.
True. The fact that I brought my camera, my headphones, my other laptop, and still did a fucking Sheely with my shitty Airbnb Wi-Fi.
I guarantee your Wi-Fi wasn't as shitty as mine.
Probably not. But it's just, hey, that video is doing numbers right now, so I'm not gonna complain. I don't know why, because I put WrestleMania predictions. I'll take it.
Hell yeah, no. Pop off. Isn't that what you kids say now? Pop off.
Pop the fuck off, bro. I say that shit all the time.
There you go, yeah. Fucking children.
I'm 27 years old.
You're a child. You're 10 years younger than me.
Right now. For a few months.
When I was having my first legal beer, you hadn't even hit puberty. You're a fucking child.
That's not fair.
It's true, though.
1996, baby.
But any final thought? What was your favorite show you watched this weekend, Katie?
See, I want to say night 2, but Rhea was on night 1. So Rhea from night 1 and all of night 2.
I enjoyed night 1 all around more than I did night 2, but I really, really loved that last match in night 2. So I'm gonna go night 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just crazy. But it was just a crazy weekend. I never thought that I would do that. I've always said I wanted to do a WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 23, I was very young. I don't remember much. I was in Detroit, which I got beef with Detroit from SummerSlam anyways, so whatever. But like, I got to like actually experience everything this time around, and I did it all myself, by myself. Media next year.
Fuck yeah! I had no idea JJ was older than me. And what do you want to do for your 40th birthday? That's a big one. What the fuck do you want to do?
That was a big number.
Well, we're waiting for JJ to respond. Katie, tell everyone where they can find you if they're still watching.
I literally forgot we were like this is like an episode.
Kind of. It's a mini live a mini bonus. I mean, it's not really mini. It's as long as a regular episode, but it's like a bonus live only post Mania Cuddles.
Post Mania Cuddles, yeah. But you can follow me on Twitter, KatieRosin13, link in the all links to Showcase, twitch.tv/Showcase, and youtube.com/Showcase. Typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish. We will be on Thursday this week. I gotta make all my notes for that. Fuck. God damn it. Now I'm like thinking about all the shit I gotta do.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, that was gonna be a tomorrow thing because like I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm just
I don't have to go to work tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna go see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire tomorrow.
I just want to go see Godzilla and Kong. I don't want to do anything else. I don't even care if the movie's good. I have 3 movie credits I gotta use. God damn it. There you go. Nothing wrong with just sleeping.
Get your back blown out and then sleep the rest of the day. Wake up and do it all over again. That is my suggestion.
Absolutely terrible. Oh yeah.
You can follow me.
Yeah. No, go.
You were talking about Godzilla Kong. I wasn't sure if you had finished. You can follow me at Matt Ridders, MattRidder on Twitter. Also at Getting Off, Matt Ridders for your wrestling content. Getting Off is for your horror content. Smackin' Raw will be back this week, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. Getting Off will be back this week, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. Smackin' Raw on Saturday, Getting Off on Sunday. And I'll be back on the Creation Conversation this Friday at noon. If you guys want to find everything Creation World, you can check it out at It's Creation World, ITSCREATIA World. Or you can follow me anywhere besides Twitter. That's TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, at Smackin' It Raw. And that'll get you a little bit of everything. Most importantly, go check out that video of me receiving and then burning that Matt Riddle action figure because it's fucking fun.
There you go. That's what they need to do.
Thank you all for joining us. There is going to be no post show because, as I mentioned, my allergies are back and they're driving me fucking crazy. And I just really wanted to test out this beautiful thing that my wife got me. And I think it went well. I think you guys all heard me. I'll have to listen back and maybe hear if like you can hear me breathing into it and then adjust that. But other than that, for Miss Kitty Kinsey Baby, I'm the patron saint of podcasting award Matt Riddler, and this has been your #1 wrestling podcast, a place where you can find people having sex on the internet.